As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Who's the hottest man in golf right now?
Woo!
Whoo! My goodness.
Neon orange pants. Let's go.
Dang. Now, Viktor Hovland, he's got it going right now on a level that, frankly, I don't have we seen this from someone in a while? I mean, some of the things that he's doing are just incredible, putting up huge numbers and making a lot of money in the process. That dude stands to make a substantial amount of money. But hey, putting Oklahoma State golf back on the map, man. It's been awesome to watch him play. Just crushing drives, nailing putts. He's got everything right now.
He's cooking. I mean, he is absolutely cooking right now. Now, hopefully you're not jinxing him, right? He is, things aren't exactly done there at the Tour Championship, but what are you going get into the final round with a 6-shot lead?
Yeah.
And he's on fire.
On fire.
The wheels would have to really come off for him not to win this thing. And if he wins it, $18 million coming his way.
Man, that's nice. That is
sign me up.
It's just been incredible to watch him. And it's funny that he's got a lot of fans on tour and around the sport, because you've seen all these really cool stories, like kind of side stories about Viktor Hovland coming out, what people are saying, and times they've played with him, and like these different amazing feats that he's pulled off. And it's all kind of been bubbling under the surface for him for a while. And it just looks like, golfing feels like it comes in waves for guys, right? And there's a new guy that gets incredibly hot for, 6 months or so, and it looks like it's Viktor Hovland's turn.
I think one thing that people really appreciate about him is the outfits. And maybe the attitude towards the outfits, right? They ask him over and over and over again, why do you wear such horrible stuff? And I love that he says, I mean, they pay me to wear it, man. That's it. It's that simple. But it's just a constant conversation. And he just goes out there and plays awesome golf. Doesn't matter what he looks like. He seems like, and I don't know him at all, seems like one of the most likable dudes around. Right? I haven't heard a bad word about the guy. He's way up there on the list of easy Oklahoma State people to cheer for.
Yeah.
Like, what's there not, other than the fact that he went to Oklahoma State? What is there not to like about Viktor
Hovland? That he makes hitting at 330 down the pipe look way too easy and simple.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's not cool, man. No, but he is. I mean, he's awesome.
Fun to watch.
He says all the right things. From everything I can tell, he does all the right things. Just goes out there. He's kind of a softer spoken dude. Seems to giggle a lot. Just plays awesome golf.
Yeah, there's a lot of times whenever someone has it going and is starting to enjoy a lot of success, there's a lot of but that come out, right? And that's part of being on top of the sport at a given time. You're going to attract a fair amount of haters as well, but haven't seen any with Viktor Hovland yet. It seems like everyone absolutely loves this dude.
Yeah, and he's teeing off right now as we're recording this. So
right.
We're just putting our faith in Hovland that he's going to finish the job. If he doesn't, it's your fault, Ted. I mean, you jinx the guy.
And ultimately, since he is an Oklahoma State guy, that doesn't matter to me if I do jinx him.
Yeah.
But hey, I enjoy watching him and I want him to win.
I'm with you. Then,
what
was it this? What did he put up last weekend in the final round? Like a 61?
Yeah.
Just insane.
Deal. No big deal.
He's just
fired 61 course record. No big deal.
Yeah. So he's going to make 20 something million in 2 weekends. Way to go, Viktor Hovland. Good for you, man. That's
Congratulations.
awesome. Congratulations, brother. Wear whatever pants you want, pal. Do you, man? All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Uh, I had to put Ohtani as my loser. He's probably made he's probably the record holder for winner of the week for me because I absolutely love watching the dude play. And it's still the case because with the UCL tear and the Tommy John surgery, now it's no big deal. He's still stepping out there to hit and hitting bombs and finds out that he's torn the UCL and goes out in the second game of the day in the doubleheader and is still hitting the ball and trying to keep his team in the fight. Just an awesome dude. Hate to see the injury. And, I love to see guys bet on themselves and go out and play great whenever free agency is looming. This is one of those where the timing for him is about as bad as it could be. I have a feeling, though, that it's ultimately not going to end up being that much. It's going to not make that much of a dent in what he's going to earn for the future.
Yeah, you look at the injury, and this is something he's had before, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
Like that's his floor. Best hitter in baseball. Right. And so, yeah, it sucks because the uniqueness that he brings, he's fascinating to watch, right? When he's raking it at the plate and he's starting that game, like it's just, as far as baseball goes for me, like it's the only must-see TV in baseball other than like the playoffs is when he's on the mound and hitting. Like, dude, he has that type of draw, at least for a baseball casual like myself. So, yeah, it sucks. He's still going to make so much money in free agency. And maybe the Angels look at it and go, hey, maybe we can keep him now because of the UCL injury. But I don't know. It was a huge bummer when this news came out. I think it was very deflating just for baseball as a whole because he's such a draw, man.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what's crazy. Like the old baseball guard is very difficult to impress, and when I hear friends and people that follow the sport and are like the traditionalists saying that he may be, and statistically it's hard to refute, he may be the best player to ever play the game. Like you really can't refute what he's doing on the offensive side and the pitching side at the same time. It's just flat out never been done. There's no record of it on the level that he's doing it. And in this day and age to pull something off like that is incredible.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's a bummer, but
I hope he bounces back completely. We'll see. It would not shock me if he's better coming out of it.
Yeah. Just bionic arm.
Why not?
We'll see. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They have 9 full service dealerships in Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. Buy a new or used car from them. Then all you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive, axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair costs. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. People, make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with the new clock rules in college football. I didn't really even notice.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of TV timeouts. There's always a lot of commercials. Games seem to move nice and smooth. I didn't think it had some large effect or anything like that. I hardly even noticed. They mentioned it on every broadcast, and I thought it was fine.
To the untrained eye, there's no difference, right?
As
in the viewing experience.
Yeah, which I think is the goal. I mean, may get some more commercials, but some of those games were nice and short.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got no problem with it. I'm interested to see how it affects things maybe on our end as we broadcast things on radio, but I think it's probably going to get the intended result. Make things a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Without having a big impact on like giving teams an opportunity to make their comeback and to do things they need to do.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see, teams running 100 plays in a game or anything like that, which I, from one, think is a good thing.
Agree.
So we'll see how that pans out, right? Obviously, we'll be keeping track of it throughout the season. But my winner of the weekend, follow me on this one, Ted. I'm going Dak Prescott. First of all, looked like he was pretty involved in the play calling in Dallas's preseason finale against the Raiders. They scored 31 points. Will Grier balled out. I was like, look at Prescott go.
Man.
He looked good. I mean, he really did. And it looked like Dak was pretty involved in, getting some plays in that Grier liked. But I thought it looked efficient. But clearly, he's mainly my winner of the weekend because of the Trey Lance trade. Now, there's no doubt that Dak is the guy in Dallas. There's just no debating that, right? However, I mean, you've got to assume this really caught his attention and will give him a new level of focus. And someone may hear that and go, no. I mean, he prepares as hard as he can for every game. And okay. But it's just human nature to kind of raise your level because he is no longer the most physically gifted guy in that quarterback room. Right. And he's got to feel that. And I know that everything Dak Prescott does is under a microscope, right? He's the quarterback for the Cowboys. Okay. I get that. But when you've got this young guy who's now getting a second chance, who's got all these physical tools now, behind you in that room, I don't know. I just think it changes your perspective a little bit, especially I think he's only under contract through 2024. So I don't know. Am I reaching, Ted, or could this be a little jolt for Dak Prescott and for him to kind of elevate his play? That's how I see it.
I think if he uses it as that, then absolutely. It's I'd love to be a fly on the wall and just kind of see how that dynamic unfolds. Yeah, there's no doubt that the pressure, it's weird. There's no threat to Dak Prescott, but he also has to feel the overall feeling of him is, okay, yeah, regular season's going to look really good. But in clutch, in moments whenever everything's on the line, how are you going to perform in those situations? And whenever there's someone else in the room now where I don't think there's necessarily a threat, but it wouldn't be bad for him to create that threat for himself in his mind to push him to the next level. So I'm with you.
Yeah. How many times now have we heard about great athletes creating that sense of competition, right? Or, getting
Look at Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You want to take it to the psychotic level.
Yeah. Like creating that chip on their shoulder any way they could. And I'm thinking that's what Dak can do with them trading for Trey Lance. Now we'll see how he responds to it. But I don't know, it's just something everyone's trying to figure out, well, why would the Cowboys want him? This isn't a great landing spot for Lance, and I don't think it is. Right. And the 49ers just straight up admitted defeat on that whole situation. Like, hey, we got it wrong. We gave up 3 first-round picks for the wrong guy. What'd you see? Shanahan said he felt like he failed Trey Lance.
Yeah. Well,
but
hey, man, in Trey Lance's defense, sometimes just a change of scenery and an opportunity not going the way that you expected it will reset the mindset and reset your frame and give you an opportunity to go out and have a little bit of a rebirth, if you will.
Yeah. No, so I think the entire dynamic of the situation is interesting to me, but I think it ultimately could be a very positive thing for Dak Prescott.
I just got to say, man, and I know you know this, but the Dallas Cowboys never fail to provide the greatest watching experience in history because of either the success or the failure. It's going to be something dramatic, and this season's going to be no different, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my loser of the weekend, LSU defensive tackle Maason Smith. He is going to be suspended for their marquee matchup against Florida State. That'll be prime time next Sunday night. So it's basically Sunday night football. And he's going to be suspended for that game for doing an autograph signing all the way back in 2021, like a few weeks before NIL officially started. And this is something he did the signing with Kayshawn. That guy's name was Boutte, and then it went to Booty. Like they just changed up the pronunciation apparently overnight. But
by Joe Dirte.
Yeah, exactly. Classed it up. And he served it. He was wide receiver for LSU. He served this suspension last year, right? Because this is something they knew about a year ago when the NCAA's ruling came down. But Smith blew his knee out in the opener, right? The first drive of the year last season. So we couldn't serve the suspension. So now he's having to serve it in the biggest, like the marquee game of week 1 of college football, because of course the NCAA would do that. Why would you want arguably LSU's best defensive lineman to play in a game that has massive implications, that has a standalone TV slot, that every college football fan on the planet is going to be watching? Yeah, why would we want to watch the best players go at it?
The NCAA would rather use that as an opportunity to try and show everyone that they still matter, that they can still press their thumb on somebody if they want to. So you better follow the rules because here's what we could do to you. That's my guess. I mean, it's like a show to stay relevant, I guess.
It's so annoying. All we want to do is watch the best teams play each other and watch the best players for those teams play.
That's it.
I don't care that the guy signed autographs. And if you're one of those people, well, he broke the rules. Who cares? We got guys getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to go play at places now. And we're worried about an autograph signing 2 years ago. Who cares? Just let me watch him play against Florida State's O-line. That's all I want to watch.
Suspend him one game, but they get to choose what game he's suspended.
Yeah. Any other game. Any game but that one.
Credit Florida State for trying to change their schedule.
Yeah, how about LSU? Did you see that from Ross Dellinger?
What did I say? I meant LSU.
Yeah, I guess they tried to schedule a week 0 game so that he'd be suspended for that one instead of the Florida State game.
You have to respect the hell out of that, don't you?
I love it. And hey, Maason Smith has been banged up in their training camp, like a bit of an ankle issue, I guess. But still, I mean, this is a guy that is a difference maker. And this is the marquee game of the first full opening weekend of college football. And instead of us being excited about the matchup and talking about the teams, there's going to be a game day segment and a Fox Big Noon segment all about this suspension. And it's so annoying. It doesn't have to be this way, NCAA. Stop it.
And maybe this is dramatic, but there's a pretty decent chance that this game could determine a college football playoff spot.
Absolutely.
And one player maybe doesn't make the difference, but maybe it does. Maybe it does.
If he lives up to the hype, it absolutely does. Like, he absolutely is a difference maker. Now, this could be the reality situation for either one of these teams. Because you could say, well, you lose the opener, you still got the rest of your season left. Yeah. But then you got to be perfect the rest of the way, essentially.
Right.
Which is not easy, man. I mean, it's just not. Especially when you look at LSU's schedule. They're in the SEC West. Like, it's just not.
Nope.
So I hate it. I hate it that we're not going to get to see him play. I'm still very excited for that football game. I do have one more thought on it.
Okay.
If you're LSU, should have just lied and said he was ready for the bowl game and then just sat him.
Well,
now he tore his ACL, but he's recovered so quickly. He's ready to go. And then the NCAA said, no, he's suspended. All right, he'll serve his 1 game suspension in the bowl game. There you go.
Or they could have lied in the very beginning. The MRI was inconclusive. We're going to see if he's ready to go next week.
Yeah.
And then you're suspended. And turns out that, we went back for a second opinion, and it's torn.
Well, I think they found out like a third through the season, or like halfway through the season last year. So
you're right. Then, the bowl game would have been better.
This is where we're at, NCAA. We're coming up with schemes because of your guys' silliness.
You think the NCAA would have shown up and put him through like the test to make sure he's ready?
in independent orthopedic evaluation.
Yeah.
Funny. It's frustrating, man. We just want to watch the best players play in the big games, guys. Suspend him for another game. It didn't have to be this one.
Frustrating.
Damn it.